The only band I've been in is rock band.
You were in a rock band? What did you do?
The game.
Oh, the game. Cold Beet Soup is a podcast for casual fans who want to explore lore and fandom rabbit holes in music and gaming.
And are sad sometimes.
And we're live. Well, not live, but live.
I'm not alive.
Mood.
I'm dead and
I've been up since 6 a.m. and I'm like,
dude, this morning
mm,
I ordered an Amazon package for overnight. So the delivery window is between 4 and 8 a.m.
mm.
And the delivery driver decided that 4:30 in the morning is the time to ring my doorbell
Oh, lovely.
to so I was actually sleeping really well for the first time in a couple days. It's several days. And I heard the doorbell, and my doorbell is like crazy loud. It's super scary. And I just laid in bed. I was just like, I didn't, I was just, I'm like, I'm not getting up. Like, screw, leave it at the door. And now today I put a note in my Amazon to, uh, please don't ring my doorbell. Like, 'cause the thing is too, there's like that button thing to like let people in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think mine works. So even if
Oh.
like I c- I'm pretty sure it doesn't work because I tried it like when the movers came, when the guys came for my washer, like it just doesn't work. So I'm like, just don't do it. Just leave it outside. It's fine. Nothing's gonna happen. It'll be fine. Also, welcome to Cold Beet Soup. This is our podcast. Usually I talk about it. I say that earlier, but forgot.
It's all good.
I
It's
got
all good.
distracted. Um, so we're gonna talk about whoa, whoa, oh. And now I just sit in silence.
Oh my god.
And now I
Oh.
just sit.
All right. This is time to
Like
end
my throat's
it.
hurting. Why am I screaming? Why am I
Yeah,
screaming?
tomorrow you're gonna write to me and you're gonna be like, I don't know, my throat's been feeling even worse today for some reason.
Oh my god. For those of you that don't know what this logo is, this is 21 Pilots. Vicky got me
What?
this shirt.
Yes, I did.
Yay. So
Woo!
when I went to the concert, I didn't have to stand in the merch line that wrapped around half the venue, which was crazy. Um, although they have some really cool shirts, but I was just like I was too anxious anyways being there by myself. So I was just like, don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone, which doesn't matter because I still got sick, but that's another story for another
Yay!
time. Yay! So you should see it up now.
Yep.
I can't see you,
Good.
but great. So I've covered 21 Pilots lore before. That was actually first episode of our podcast, and
It
look at how far we've
was.
come. Dude, we're on episode 16, I think.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, because I make folders
Damn.
for each one to organize when I edit
Damn.
them. Yeah, so the last one I'm pretty sure was 15. So we've come a long way. Still didn't get the intro this time, but that's fine. So we talked about 21 Pilots lore already. Um, but something, one thing that I really like about this band, and this is why I've seen them multiple times, is their production value increases every time they go on tour, and they are on the Clancy tour right now for their most recent album. So I thought it'd be cool to point out the little lore tidbits or just references that they made. Um, so for those of you that didn't get to go to the concert for whatever reason, or if you went to the concert, but you went with like a super fan and you were like, I don't know why they're so excited about this part or that part. Like, what does this mean? Or even if you are a super fan and you're just going through withdrawals and you're like, man, I need that concert high again. Or maybe you were a super fan standing in that merch line and you missed some of this stuff. This PowerPoint is for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. I do want to. do a recap of the lore just really briefly
Mhm.
because I mean it's been a couple months I think since we've talked about it.
Yeah.
So uh I'm sure you don't remember like most of the stuff. I
Nope.
wouldn't either. Like if you would ask me about that Fortnite lore you told me about, girl, I would fail that quiz so hard. So hard. I'd only remember Midas.
Of
Oh, and
course.
the
Oh,
cat guy,
mousicles?
yeah, Meowsicles, and the blob, or no, was it
Poseidon?
Pluto? Poseidon. I knew it was a P name.
Wow, you learned so
I'm
much.
failing already, dude. I'm failing already. I know there's the world there's like the nothing or the oh God. Okay, let's just stop. Let's just quit while we're ahead
Let's talk about
here.
21 Pilots.
Let's talk about 21 Pilots. I think that's a safer topic for me to discuss. So, I will link that episode, the full lore episode, in the description, just in case if you don't know the lore, you want to just get some more information. But for this slide, I just put up the map of the world that they created. So, 21 Pilots, consists of two people. It's Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn. Tyler Joseph is the vocalist. He'll play guitar, bass, piano, and then Josh does the drums. And they this little map is of the continent called French. And then they focus a lot on the city called DEMA, which you see on the bottom of the map. DEMA is ran by 9 bishops who spread negativity and they enforce vialism, which is a religion where the end goal of life is to die by suicide, and that it's should be celebrated and it's a good thing. But it's not. It's definitely not. And Tyler emphasizes that through multiple songs and all that. Um, so this lore that they created, it spans several albums. So Clancy is the most recent one. In the story, Tyler's character is revealed to be Clancy. Now, we talked about this at the last presentation. Uh, I mentioned how they released the video called I Am Clancy.
Mhm.
And like prior to that video, so fans have been theorizing all these little lore things. They would drop names and lyrics, and then they had that website, that like DEMA.org website, and they would do all these things. And the I Am Clancy video confirmed that the theories are right. This is like the world is called Trench. There's DEMA. He escaped DEMA. Blah blah blah. Um, so that was really hype. And I think that was before the album. I can't remember if it was before or when the album was already out. But either way, that's when Tyler came out and said, I am this character named Clancy. Because I think there were some letters or something, and people were trying to theorize on who this Clancy person is. Because Clancy seems like a rebel. So Tyler's character is a citizen of DEMA, Clancy. Um, Nico is his bishop. So I don't know if I mentioned that. I think I mentioned the 9 districts, right? The 9 bishops, and each of them have their own district,
I believe
basically.
you did, yeah.
So, yeah, so Clancy is in Nico's district. Um, and throughout the like lore, he escapes and comes back, he escapes and comes back, and that's like symbolic of kind of like, your struggles with mental health too. You think like you've just got past it, but then sometimes you slide back and, whatever. Um, so in the album, it starts with uh his most recent escape. He gets together with the banditos who are the rebels in this continent. He also meets those like Ned. He has those antlers from those Ned
Mhm.
characters to fight back, and he's like, "We're gonna come back to Dima. And I'm gonna face Nico once and for all." And the way the album ends in the last song, he comes face to face with Nico. So that's how the album ends. So that's like lore wise, that's where we are to kind of set the tone. So the concert is about like 2 hours long. And
Sounds
of
about
course they swap.
standard.
Yeah, it's about standard. Like and the set is great. I listened even to the set list before.
Of course.
Uh I I like the band a lot, so I was excited. And even when I watched it live, I like didn't know like what song was gonna come next, because my memory is just so bad. So it still felt like it was the first time. Um, except for the first song, I knew what the first song would be, and I knew what the last song would be. Because one fun fact about 21 Pilots is they always play Trees last. Trees is one of their songs from Vessel. It's an older album. So they always close a concert with that song. It's
Why?
like a I don't know. I think it's just like because of the way I think it's like the vibe of the song
Mm.
because at the end um it like starts kind of slow, but then it gets kind of hype, and at the end everyone's like dancing like la da, and then like usually confetti comes out, and it's like a nice celebration. But maybe there is like a whole story behind it. Maybe some fan in the comments can let me know because I wonder if there is like a reason. But I think in general that song is pretty hype,
Mm.
and maybe that's why they do it. Um, so yeah, so the concert starts. This reference is really obvious if you know the lore, but if you don't, you just be like, okay, some dude just came out. Tyler came comes out wearing a mask. That's fucking weird. But if you know the lore, he's wearing his Clancy mask. So the first song of the concert is Overcompensate, which is also the first song of the album. So it's kind of cool because he comes out and he's got the mask on, it's really hype, and then at the end that's actually the crowd holding him up. So he climbs up and the crowd
Oh.
holds him up. Yeah, yeah, and he puts his fist up like fight the power because yeah, we don't like DEMA. Um so that's like reference number one, and then number two, a couple songs later. So this is something that they've been doing for almost a decade, and I don't know. And again, another fan can explain maybe how this came to be, but it started with the Blurry Face tour, as far as I remember, because I saw them at the Blurry Face tour. So the Blurry Face tour was like the Blurry Face, I think, was like their third. That's the album where they blew up.
What year
So
was that? Do you
I
remember?
want to say it was like 2015. I want to or 13 maybe.
Damn. That's like
I want to say it's been a while. 2015. Ooh, I'm a good fan. I'm a good fan.
almost 10 years.
Uh, yeah, that's crazy. But so what they do is there's a song that he has called Car Radio, and he does this like disappearing trick where he's on the stage and all of a sudden they're like, "Whoa, how'd he get in the stands?" And you see that in the picture.
Mm.
And in the past, before the Clancy mask, he would just wear like a ski mask. And at the very like end of the song, he'll like sing the last lyric and like rip the mask off, and then people are like, "Oh my god, it's Tyler! Wow!" Like it's super hype. I mean, it's cool though. Like it's cool how he like all of a sudden pops up. I remember at the Blurryface tour, I was like, "Get up there!"
Wait
It's
a
a cool.
minute.
Yeah, it's really cool. So in this particular case, he took the Clancy mask off. Um, I mean, I think he just doesn't. I don't know if there's like some symbolic reason. I think it's just wearing that mask for 2 hours would suck. Like, I don't think it would be very comfortable.
Mm.
But I think that's pretty cool. So that's like some of the early references in the concert. The next one that's like several, multiple songs later, Josh, the drummer, shows up as the Torchbearer. So the Torchbearer is his character in the lore, which is kind of like the guide. He's part of the Bandito, so he's part of the rebels, but he helps guide Tyler through his journey. So I put a picture of him on the right just so you get like a nice clear image of like the outfit. It's really simple, but the one on the left is actually from the concert itself. So he like comes down the stairs and he's got the little like torch and he walks down, and then Tyler, joins them, and they walk up to the stage. Now, at this point, the stage is, covered. You don't see anything, but then they drop it, and then you see this. And then everyone's like,
Dang.
whoa, it's DEMA. Or if you don't know the lore, you're like, it's a bunch of pillars. We're like, what the fuck?
That's what I thought. No.
But this picture is phenomenal. Oh,
Mm,
this reminds me, I wanted to say a big, big, big thank you to everybody in the 21 Pilots Discord who helped me gather photos for this. I was in the seats, so I could see stuff, but I taking pictures, they were like okay for my memory, but not good for like a PowerPoint.
mm,
Also, I'm like usually at concerts, I don't have my phone a lot. I like to just be in the moment and uh, appreciate the song fully because I feel like for me at least with the phone, like I'm just distracted to get the footage and I'm like not fully
mm.
immersed in the song. So I don't do it. I can't. But I people that do are great. Like this person, I wanted to give a special shout out to Moss because Moss took this photo and shared with me shared with all of us that went to the concert Google Photos. They recorded the entire concert in chunks. So, and they were like front row. So I was able to
Dang.
go back. Yeah, I was able to go back and like sift through because, a couple days after even I was like forgetting. I was like, "Oh, what did this song come before or after?" So it was nice to just revisit the whole concert, get some nice like screen captures. I'm going to link their Instagram. Moss does concerts in the description too, so you guys can check them out because they'll make like little concert albums. But if you want to see more photos like this, you should follow them because it's a really good photo. We used it for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, they come out and it's DEMA with the fire. It looks spooky. You can even see just barely the neon gravestones in the back, which that's like a really that we talked about that in the first presentation, but that's where all the deceased are. So and they have a song called Neon Gravestones. Really sad. Um, so when they come up, the song starts playing. It's called Navigating, which is exactly what you would think. It's them. It's where they're navigating their way back to DEMA. Um, so that's also lore wise. The navigating music video takes place after the overcompensate music video. So like the story picks up there. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then the song after that they play is called Nico and the Niners, which is also fitting because they're talking about the 9 bishops who are in charge of DEMA. Um the Nico and the Niners thing, remember when I told you about that footage that I reversed?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so excited. So this is gonna be a special Zorlda moment. I have listened to Nico and the Niners, I don't know how many times, and I have never noticed this intro. So I'll play the footage for you anyways because I reversed it and you haven't heard it. But let me put it up. Let me make sure you can see it. Do you see the little?
Yeah.
Why isn't it going bigger? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah, it works. But I can't hear it. Can you hear
I
it?
can hear it.
I don't hear anything. Oh, you can?
Mhm.
Oh, that's good. I don't hear it. So cool. Well, at least you can. So you can hear it, but it sounds like nonsense, right?
Mm.
What they're saying. So and people are super excited. So now that I can't hear it, I don't know where I'm at, but there are 3 different things that are being said. So I did reverse it, and you should hear them say, "We are banditos."
Oh, yep, I just heard it. Yeah.
So they say that a couple times. I'm gonna
Mm.
watch based on the lights to figure it out. Okay, for that one, they said, "We will leave DEMA and head true east." And then that one is, "We denounce vialism." So when I reversed it, I like could hear the "We Are Banditos," but I was asking, I was like, what does the rest of it mean? And like, someone sent me a screenshot of this, and then I felt really stupid. And then I pulled up the song to listen to it because I am telling you, I've never heard this. And sure enough, in the background of like the intro music, they're they're saying that, and I was like, "Oh my god, how have I missed this?" So somehow I missed it. I'm the only 21 Pilots fan that never heard this, which is fine. I accept that. Um, but yeah, this is like it's even written in the Genius lyrics, but it's just Josh's voice, reversed. We denounce vialism. You'll leave Dima and head true east. We are banditos. And they just did the "We Are Banditos" part multiple times, probably to prepare for the song. But I thought that was really cool. Um, Another reference that, like, if you're not a fan, you're just like, okay, there's a bunch of nonsense being said, but that's cool. And then you just move on to the next song. Um, so one other thing I want to point out before going to the next slide is this Trench album cover,
Mhm.
because that's a vulture on the cover, and you do see vultures a couple
Ooh.
songs later. Yeah, there's a song called "My Blood," which is also from Trench. But the vultures show up and they stood out to me a lot. So I was like, you know what? Let's talk about what they symbolize because I'm pretty sure I briefly mentioned them in the first presentation, but it wasn't like I didn't feel like it was within the scope because, I'm explaining a whole world
Mhm.
and the story, and it's a lot. And I was like, I don't want to go over it because it's just going to be too much, It's one of those like little things, nuanced things that I didn't want to go over it too much. But now that we're kind of this is like the perfect opportunity to talk about it. So the vultures do have a symbolic meaning. It was actually explained through this screenshot here. So back when the album came out, when Trench came out, 21 Pilots and Spotify partnered together and they did the Bandito immersive experience.
Oh.
And they it was like a mini game where you escape DEMA and you're looking for four symbols, and the vulture was one of the symbols. So, as you can see, they explain the meaning right here. Now, I'm not going to read it to you because you know how to read, so I'm not
What
going to
about
read the
audio
full thing.
listeners? Hello?
Okay, sorry. You know what, audio listeners? I will read it out to you. So for vultures, it says, "We are vultures. The vulture sees both worlds, devouring death, a symbol of our responsibility to turn death into life. May we learn from what we've lost and commit to living." And oh, the yellow text, "The fear and pain shall not be elements that stop us, but what feeds us to persevere. The vultures about
Above.
above the vultures above are our symbol of turning death to life." Sorry, that text is hard to
Yeah, that's
read.
really hard. I'm like
It's
sitting
like,
here real close to the screen. I'm like,
yeah, I'm like scrunched up like this. Huh? And I got LASIK and I couldn't even. But anyways, so that is what the vultures mean to the banditos. So it's kind of like a symbol of rebirth, right? To turn death into life. Now, the vultures also have different symbolic meanings to the citizens of DEMA and the bishops. Something just fell, and I don't. Oh no, it's just my neighbor stomping, so we're fine.
oh,
Okay.
oh,
I thought it was something
just the
fell, but it's just them.
usual.
Just the God, it scared the bejeebus out of me. So the for the citizens of DEMA, the vultures symbolize hope because the citizens of DEMA can't leave, but
Mm.
the vultures are the only ones that they see leaving and coming back. So it gives them that hope of like, well, maybe one day I'll be able to like leave and come back like they do. For the bishops, I don't know if you remember, but the bishops could like possess dead bodies and
Yeah,
use them
yeah.
as vessels.
Hmm.
So the vultures are their eyes. So when the vultures leave, they go look around for bodies to seize. So it's kind of interesting because they have so many meanings, like they can mean different things to
Mm.
different people. Even Tyler, I watched an interview where he talked about the vultures, and he mentioned that vultures in real life are pretty scary looking, which is true.
Yep.
Except I do kind of think that that one's kind of cute. Um, what? I don't think he's like that one's scary looking, but that one's kind of cute. You look kind of cute. So I don't know. I guess it depends on the vulture. But so he said that yeah, vultures are scary, and that can he made the connection that it's like it can symbolize coming face to face with the fear of leaving where you're from, like facing your fears. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting point. Like I left where I used to, like I'm not home anymore, and that's definitely a scary thing to do at first because you're
Yep.
just like whole new place, whole new everything. And then even like coming back, it feels kind of weird coming back sometimes if you're like visiting friends and family because like stuff has changed since the
Mm.
last time you were there, and it's just like a weird thing. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, so that's what the vultures mean. So they showed up in the concert. The next one is called the next song I'm gonna reference is called Oldies Station. Um, it is a song that Tyler has said he's dedicated the song to the fans. It's actually a really like depressing song, and it was so funny because in the concert I was like, "Don't cry." I was like, "People are gonna think you're fucking weird if you start crying." So I was like, "Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry," but because there's like a lyric in it that says "push on through," and I just that one resonates with me a lot because it's like when shit's going wrong, everything's like you just like keep persevering and like it's just I was like, "Oh God," and then but I didn't cry. I held it together.
I'm proud of you.
Um, but although if someone like looked at me, I probably would just started bawling. Like if they just put their face up, I was like so and the song I think it's also kind of about depression too, because like you have good days and bad days, but you
Mm.
try to push on through. So it's a really good song. So the reason I put this slide up is because I like that they put up like they as a song is playing, they have this like collage of 21 Pilot stuff. Like you can just barely see the antlers on the far right, and like you see the two guys together, and it's just like a collage of things. And they said when I was at the concert, they were like, thanks for being with us on this journey and letting us have this like career. And it was just really wholesome. So I thought like that was
Aw.
a very wholesome reference of, 21 Pilots. Look how far we've come. So, and then the last slide, I worked really hard on this slide. Uh,
Wow. This is the best slide you've done ever.
thank you. Sometimes simple is best.
True, true. It's bright. I'm sitting here like, yeah. Yeah, this is
I should
great.
have made that the thumbnail.
Yes.
Paladin Strait. That's it.
Easy. Done.
Yeah. CTR through the charts. People will be like, "What is this about?" So, Paladin Strait, we've talked about this song. This was the song. Oops, that's not what I wanted. This was the song that was the last song on the album. And that was the one where we were waiting, you had to do a treasure hunt to find the music video.
Hmm.
So this is the actual from the concert. So they play the footage from the music video. That's Nico. He's really crusty. Um,
Need some lotion.
yeah, he's an Aquaphor. But anyways, so then it transitions to Jumpsuit, which is Jumpsuit is the first track off of Trench, that album with the vulture on it.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna play it for a little bit because the stuff you'll see in the background is like more stuff. Like that was a map of DEMA. Now it's gonna say continent of Trench, and then it's gonna get loud. Let's go. Yeah, and then there's the vultures. You see the little pitchfork, and they just one of the letters, vultures again. So it like cycles through the stuff, which I thought was really cool. Um, man, this is like really hard to narrate when I can't hear it. So I hope it sounds like it matches. God. Jeez,
I wish we could get a
I
point of
guess
view of yours where it's just
it's
silence.
just silence. Yeah, it's crazy. I did actually add an extra slide because I realized the pitchfork does mean something. So, if you see here on the map, you see how the E
Oh,
has a
yeah, yeah,
little,
yeah.
it's sideways. So, from that same Bandito's experience thing, they call it the compass E Pitchfork, but they put it up like, and it's kind of like a symbol of rebellion, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me read it for the
Yes, yes, yes,
audio
yes.
listeners. Compass E Pitchfork, symbolizing the overturning of the false compass of DEMA. The Bandito underground recognized the flipped E as the insignia of truth being revealed. We utter the code East is up as a message of unity, truth, and rebellion against the oppressive forces of DEMA. And then for the yellow text, it says
Squint now.
monuments of exaltation are nothing but the glory of an early grave. Let us flip our perspective to find truth. Ooh,
Deep.
that's that's spicy. Yeah, so those are the neon gravestones on the bottom, the little squares. So yeah, East is Up is also in Nico and the Niners. That's one of the things they say multiple times. They go, East is up. And so it's a trope in 21 Pilots, but I thought that was kind of cool. So it's
Mm.
kind of another like fight the power thing. So that's it for the concert. There is one thing I wanted to mention that is going through the entire tour, and they have something called the fan premiere exhibit, the FPE. And at every city, it's like some VIP. I don't know. I'm not rich enough for that, so I didn't do it. But every single city they go to, they have like a letter, and it'll be like a piece of a letter, and it's
Ooh.
letters from citizens of DEMA. So the fans have, put all these letters together. There's actually a website, so if you want to look at the website, just go through the 21 Pilots Discord or Reddit, and you can like look at it. But a couple of like the letters will be capitalized too, so they're like putting the messages together and then putting the letters together because it'll be like ripped in half or three
Mm.
pieces. So they put it together, and it's between citizens of DEMA. And it seems like, because I read a couple of them, it seems like in general, it's just like kind of hinting at rebellion and stuff like that. Um, uh, Obviously, there's going to be some message in the end, but since the tour is still ongoing, we don't have all the letters yet, so we don't know. But I think it's a cool, like, the band goes through such lengths to like build the world and like get the fans involved and bring them together. Like, fans are coming together from all over the world to solve this solve
That's
this little
cool.
puzzle. So, yeah, it's really cool. So, they're a pretty cool band. They are great if you have anxiety. They sing about being anxious a lot, and depression, and so it's very, the anxiety part is very relatable for me.
Do
Um,
they have any like love songs, or are they mostly like
um, Actually, they do have "Tear in My Heart." I think it's a love song. It's kind of wild though, because he's like, "She's the tear in my heart. I'm on fire. She's the tear in my heart. Take me
Wait,
higher.
do I know that song? That sounds familiar.
She's a tear in my
Oh, yeah, I do
heart.
know that song,
I'm alive. She's a tear in my heart. I'm on fire than I've ever been."
yeah. Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
I think that's about, I want to say he also has a song about a song that he wrote for his wife called
Aw.
yeah, and it's called The Craving. So The Craving, my understanding, I feel like it was while she was pregnant 'cause she sounded like it's dedicated to his wife, following Tear in My Heart. Oh, there you go. And oh yeah, he had Formidable and Smithereen. So he has a couple. The song sees Tyler contemplating if he's providing enough love in his relationship to his partner, Jenna. Aww. Because he plays like a snippet of her in the beginning, and she's like, I don't know why I can't stop crying, and I'm thinking about getting old, and I don't know a lot about you still. and it's like very, very sad. I'm like, oh my God. But I was like, damn, she must be pregnant or something or hormonal. Cause like I know like when my hormones hit, I'm just like, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why I'm crying.
Yeah.
Like
And then like the
it's like
next day hits and you're like, oh,
yeah. And
yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. I'm just a woman.
Yeah. I'm just a girl. So yeah, Tear in My Heart is about their relationship. It's inspired by his wife.
Oh.
So yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. And then Formidable is a letter from Tyler to his wife. You are formidable to me. Yeah, it's a good song. And then Smithereens. He writes a slick song for his wife Jenna to demonstrate his devotion. He describes a hypothetical situation to show how far he would go to protect her, despite the consequences to his own well-being. Yeah, so yeah, there's love songs. He writes it to his wife
Oh,
multiple
that's
times,
nice though. It's not like a
which is
generic
sweet.
like.
No, he's I think that's another reason why the fans like the band so much because it is like creative song. Even for like from a musical standpoint,
Mm,
uh their tempo changes and like even like general vibe changes in a song. It's very creative. I did one mashup of 21 Pilots and it was so hard to line it up
mm.
because just because of the and I realized that I was like, "Oh yeah, like they do change up stuff in songs quite a bit." So, um I had a when I was younger, I I notice how I like hesitated when I said that. I was like, when I
Yeah.
was younger, because I was thinking, I was like a teen, I think, maybe early 20s. But I was in I helped my friends. They were in a band, and I helped them with piano parts.
Mm.
And my friend also plays the ukulele, but he doesn't write down chords at all.
Oh.
He just plays stuff. So when they would show me a song, we would have to walk through the chords together, or I just tell him send me the recording so I can piece it apart. Because I was like, "What chord is that?" And he's like, he's like, "This," and I was like, "Okay." As somebody who's like classically trained, I'm like, So I would try to come up with that and tempo changes. He would do the same thing, and we would make like 21 Pilots jokes because he's like, yeah, I was inspired by them to just do what I want. And I'm like, it
Hey,
makes it so hard.
if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded cool and like it was fun. To me, it was like a fun puzzle because I had to figure it out every time. I think a couple of their songs are on Spotify. I know one of them that I have my piano part on is on Spotify.
Ooh.
He. I like that one. That one's a lot of power chords, so I like recording that one. Um, Yeah, we were recording. It was legit.
The only band I've been
Someone's
in
big.
is rock band.
You were in a rock band? What did you do?
The game.
Oh, the game. Uh, I found the intro clip. I was in Fortnite. I was so excited.
What
I was like, I
band?
didn't know you played an instrument. Like, I've known you most of your life. What? I misheard. Listen, I move at Sonic the Hedgehog speeds, okay? Gotta go fast. Misread emails, misunderstand, just let's keep going. I run into walls. I turn the corner too fast.
That was great.
What part would you like to play in Rock Band? That is my
The
follow-up question.
drums.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah, it
do
would be
drums when
fun.
I was younger, but my mom was like, do clarinet. And the reason she did that is because she didn't want to hear me play the drums. My mom
I feel
just
like
heard and
clarinet
she's
is
like, stop talking about you.
I heard you was talking shit.
She runs up here. She's like, "What'd you say?"
He brings the clarinet. Play it. Play it now. Start playing Hot Cross Buns. Tears roll down your face. Raise your hand if you still have your recorder. Just kidding. I don't know where mine is. I have no
I don't
idea.
even know I understood the point of why we all had to do that. Because it was like everyone did
Trauma
it.
bonding.
Trauma bonding.
Public school. It was so bad. I hated that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do have an ocarina somewhere, but I don't know. It might be actually in my storage in Maryland, but I did get an ocarina, and you can like actually play it.
Ooh.
But it's like it's kind of hard because like all the little holes they're very close, so you're like, I'll try. Maybe I'll figure it out one day. Maybe
Just come on in
I
the
don't know.
podcast, like we're like, "Welcome to Beet Soup," and you just pull it out, and you're like,
It would be great if I had it before the Zelda game came out and I
"Oh
could play it.
yeah."
And like, so what the fuck? Like I practiced.
You just
I didn't even
roll
make a
in slowly.
presentation. I go like this. Turn my chair. That would be sick. Oh my
Somehow trip
gosh.
on your
Don't tempt me.
headphones.
Somehow. It always I know where it is now. I'm watching. I learned my lesson from the one. But yeah, that was my presentation. Sorry. I don't know what you hopefully you guys liked it. I don't know. As I was working on it, I was like, this is fucking dumb. No one's gonna want to see
No, come on.
that.
Don't think that way.
Self-doubt. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know. There's one I saw. I didn't make a slide of it, but there's a skeleton running, and I think it was a cheetah skeleton, like running through the background, and they have a song called Pet Cheetah in Trench. So I thought that was kind of cool.
No.
But it's such a like I was like, whatever. But yeah, if there's other references uh to the two people that watch this, you want to point out, feel free to comment. I'm playing. Watch as this becomes like our most watched. This somehow surpasses the Zelda episode because I think our like highest one is one of the Zelda ones.
Hell yeah.
Watch as this somehow like the algorithm just is like, ooh, let's make her more anxious
Right?
and just push it everywhere. I heard you was anxious.
Here you
So
go.
here you go. So anyway, yeah, so that's I'm not going to talk about 21 Pilots ever again. Just kidding, probably. Unless if they make another album. It's the story ends kind of abruptly, so it would be nice to continue. There is that theory that it's like not the full album. There's a double album and there's more.
Ooh.
But I don't know if that's legit or not. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's all I got for tonight. I hope I think actually Zelda comes out tomorrow. Damn. Whatever bird that is, it's coming up. Your Discord is blinking with that bird. He's like, I want to be
It's a
on. Hey, I
vulture.
heard it was gonna be pushed to the algorithm. Oh yeah, it's a vulture. Oh my god. No, I think Zelda comes out. I'm pretty sure it comes out tomorrow.
Oh shit.
September 26th. Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. Or today.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's gonna be
and
on Thursday.
yesterday was Agatha, the new episode.
Ooh,
Or
I still need to watch.
today.
Oh,
No, it's
you're right.
today. But
Oh.
this is
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. They don't know. They don't know the truth. Even though it's like dark as hell and
right.
my like nah, I just sit in darkness, that's all. Um
Mood.
No, I'm excited to watch that. I think, oh gosh, I think I'll have to watch it tomorrow. But tomorrow's Zelda. Ah, what am I gonna do? So
Ah,
much stuff.
and there's still
Ah,
Palea. Well, how do you say it correctly?
Palia.
Okay.
It's Palia. I looked at yes. Yeah, I've been saying it wrong. I've been calling it Palia because I thought of Pal World. Maybe that's why. Saw PAL and I thought
Or you're
Pal.
reading it
But
like a Lithuanian, because
Palia would be Lithuanian, right? Palia.
yeah.
That's so funny.
Nothing.
Do
You're
I
just
not
sitting there
sound
like this. You're
Lithuanian?
like,
Palia. So,
they're like, when is this episode ending? What are they doing?
like, please stop. Please, for the love of God. Um, yeah, no, it turns out in the trailer of the game they say Palia, and that's why. I also watched a couple videos, because my YouTube was like, "We know you're addicted to this game." So, so it was like, tips I wish I knew or ways to make money or something. And it was like, there was this one girl, she's like, "When playing Palia," and I was like, "Pa Palia?" Palia? I was like, and I'm like counting how many times I've said Palia to people on the podcast, to my Aldi cashier. I'm like, oh, yikes. They're gonna think I'm weird.
Especially the
So yeah,
Aldi cashier.
especially her. Gosh, poor Brenda. It's like, oh, here she comes. She's gonna talk about that game again. She's like trying to scan as fast as possible. She's like, up, yep, there's the total up. Let's go. Chop chop. Yeah, I always go self-checkout. I don't talking to
But
people.
some Aldi, like the
No
one by
thanks.
my house, doesn't have self checkout.
Yeah, so I purposely look up if it has
Oh
self-checkout or
my
not.
god.
And if it doesn't, I do not go. Because no, and the reason being is I am one person. So when I shop there, I buy salads, eggs, cheese, milk, like it's only a couple things that I scan every time. I do not want to stand in that line. That's literally why. It's
Mm.
not even like the anxiety aspect. It's just the I
Yeah, those lines get long at Aldi.
they get long. Yeah, because they don't have a lot of employees
Mm.
on purpose. So but they move quick, but
Yeah.
it's just that of like I think another thing it was post pandemic they tried to add more self-checkout. Um just to I think it's another way that they can keep staffing low and prices low as
Mm.
well. So, but yeah, and there's one not far from me that's self-checkout. So I think
That's
there was
nice.
only one. Oh, and I was so embarrassed because I didn't know. So I also when self you have self-checkout, you can arrange stuff in your bag how you want, but there I couldn't. So they put it in the cart and I was like, okay, I was gonna take the cart and they're like, no. And they didn't tell me till the end. They're like, no, we're gonna have to leave this for the next person. So then it's that awkward, like you're standing there as that they're scanning and putting the stuff
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
main
yeah.
thing. And I was like, oh God, never again. Like, Jesus, it was so embarrassing. I was like, fuck. So
I always keep a quarter because I'm like, even if it's a little bit of things, I'm bringing a cart.
yeah, that's fair. I just throw it in my bag now. Now that I can use self-checkout, I just throw it in my bag and then
Mm.
take it out, put it back in. Easy peasy. Anyways, sorry this episode went way longer. Um kind of should have. But what are you gonna talk about next week?
I'll
We're gonna
figure.
talk about something next
Yeah,
week.
I'm still trying to think of something that would be lore wise,
Yeah.
because there's like I was gonna talk about, is it Carol G? The
Oh, Carol, yeah, Carol. I thought you were talking about your dog. The Laura Carol. You just put Carol up, she's in her taco costume. You're like, all right, we'll tell their story. She's a really old dog,
mm,
but she's awesome.
yes,
Except when she stinks.
just all
Um,
the
she likes to dig. Um,
time.
yeah, Carol G is a Reggaeton
Yeah, but I don't think
artist.
there's any lore,
Yeah.
but there might be because there's always something to do with the shark or some songs, and I don't know. I don't
Oh.
know. I'm trying to figure something because, like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's been a busy week.
Yeah. I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I've finally been sitting at my desk, and it's today I finally finished all the trainings. It's been 3 days. I want to cry. Yeah,
It's
it's
okay
brutal.
with my company. We just signed up for trainings, which is every 4 Saturdays for like 4 hours.
Oh,
So
you. Yeah, it's like just it's either interactive or text, and then some have assessments, some don't.
oh
And the assessment I did today was 50 questions.
oh my god, you just start crying.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough, but so it'll get better. All right, guys. Hope you enjoy your week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.